This video is intended for those who wish to purchase their first metal detector. We would appreciate any other additional information or advice that could help those entering this hobby. Please leave them in the comments below. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone! We're bringing you here today to kind of share with you our experience on purchasing our first metal detector. We hope that some of the things we talk about is going to help you make the right choice of purchasing your first.
Yeah, because we made a few mistakes.
A few. So I guess, really the very first thing.
What kind of detecting do you want to do?
That's right.
Do you know? Check it out.
Think about it.
Yeah. So what kinds are there? Should I talk about them?
You're asking me? I thought you were going to talk about them.
I can talk about it.
Well, maybe I'll say there's gold. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, there, you said it. Gold. Are you looking for gold nuggets?
Or are you looking for gold rings? So
Yeah.
there's coin and jewelry hunting.
Yeah.
There's gold nugget hunting.
Yeah.
Or, like us, we like coins and we love relics.
Yeah, we do. And we hunt mostly in the fields and the bush and stuff.
Fields, woods, farms, those type of places.
So, what are you getting into this hobby for?
Yeah.
You want to find change at the park, maybe some jewelry. Also, you have to consider if you're going to do water detecting, because the big thing really is my machine waterproof or not? So if you're going to be out on the beach, going in the water waist high, and you want to find those gold rings, or if you're going to be detecting out in the rain and heavy rain, well, maybe you need a waterproof metal detector.
Also, if you're talking about water, there's also saltwater beaches. Now, we're not really familiar with it, but some of our friends are, and they said the number one thing to watch out for, if you're thinking of going into the saltwater, do your research. Find out what machines do great in saltwater, because they don't all do.
No, they don't.
Just because it's a water machine doesn't mean that it's going to do good in saltwater.
Yeah. Fresh water is not a problem.
No, fresh water. No, that's okay. So, if you establish that, I guess if you want land or water, what type of hunting you're going to be doing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different brands out there. A lot of
Oh,
manufacturers with different brands, and they all have different models, and they all have various price ranges.
Yeah, you have the beginner, intermediate, and expert. One thing I highly suggest, my biggest tip to you, is maybe get yourself a machine that you can grow into. One you can grow into and not one you can grow out of. Some of the beginner machines, maybe for the kids, it's really, really great and they'll last them a long time. In our experiences, beginner machines tend to last you maybe a season, and then you're probably looking around going, I want that one. Another thing is metal detectors don't depreciate much at all.
No, so even if you spend a little more, if you decide to resell it down the line, you're not going to lose a lot of money.
No.
Well, buying a beginner unit is fine, but there's some basic options that
a beginner machine, you're going to be missing out on a lot of the options, including one really important one is a headset. Don't buy a beginner machine without a headset. You're going to drive everybody crazy. You're going to get kicked out of parks and kicked off the beach because no one wants to hear all this beeping.
Yeah, some of them don't have the pinpoint feature.
No,
you can get the hang of it over time, but pinpointing saves you time and it's more accurate.
Another thing about talking about options, good options to have, is multi-tone.
Yes.
I love listening to the tones because they really tell me what's in the ground after so long digging with the same machine.
Yeah.
It takes time to learn one, and after a while, just by listening to your machine,
I never look at my VDI numbers when I'm swinging the coil. I just listen. Once I hear a tone that intrigues me, then I'll start looking at my screen and see what it's telling me. And I only use that, it's gives me an idea of what's down there, but it's only giving me an idea, really.
So depth, pinpoint mode, multi-tone, and a machine you can grow into, I think, is our biggest tips on purchasing your first one.
Doesn't matter really which brand.
Okay, because it's not all about just buying your machine and going out there.
No, because that's what we did.
That's what we did.
Yes.
We kind of went out on a beach. Thank goodness it was a beach and it was sand, because I would have really felt like a fool if I needed to dig it. I didn't even have gloves.
A trash pouch to carry your trash.
What did we do instead of a trash pouch? Tell them what we used to do.
We put it in our pockets. So I had my jacket pockets were just filled
Can you
with
imagine her
trash,
cell phone?
sandy,
Oh my gosh.
dirty trash. A pair of gloves, a trash pouch to
Yes.
take the trash.
That's really, really important. Not these cheap store gardening tools, because I'm telling you, the soil out there is not like it is for gardening. All fluffy new soil.
You'll be surprised at parks
how
that
hard
are
some of
well
the ground,
used, how trampled
the
ground is, and how hard it is to dig in that.
That's it. So a really good serrated digger.
But it'll last you for years.
It will.
You know, and you'll probably go through several of those cheaper ones over those years.
Buy yourself a really good digger. It's important.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really, really important to really reduce your recovery time and frustration when you first start is get yourself a pinpointer right off the bat.
Absolutely. I agree with that. We didn't have a pinpointer at first, and it was difficult.
You gave up. You gave up so much sooner than I did.
Dramatically, I found it really increased our recovery time. We were able to dig a lot more targets.
Yeah. Achieve them a lot quicker. It was a lot simpler because a lot of the stuff in the ground actually is dirty. So even a copper coin is really dirty, and sometimes it blends right into the ground and you can't see it. Sometimes it's like right there. It's in your hand
and you can't see it.
It's in your hand and you're going, it's a little, So a pinpointer is a must. A good quality pinpointer, take a look. Again, if you're going to be out in the water or out in the rain, you may actually really consider those waterproof pinpointers. And again, they're about $150 to $175 out there. Yeah. So already you're looking at about $200 for a digger or a pinpointer, and if you need a pouch and gloves and good shoes. Oh, yeah, just as important to protect your feet as your hands, because I've seen people, especially if you're going into old cellar places, we saw somebody who stepped
depending on the
nail.
the type of digging you're going to do. If you're at the beach or if you're in the woods, you're going to want some different equipment. Like this is just your basic stuff to metal detect. But when we go out in the bush, we acquired over time like bear bells, bear spray, first aid kits, stuff
wipes
like
and
that
cleaners
we bring
for
with us.
Different sizes coils, different headsets, stuff like this. So for our different adventures and stuff. But really,
this is stuff that you get eventually, and depending on your needs and where you're going.
But to start, think first what kind of metal detector you need. Do you need something that goes in the water, salt water, non-salt water, all terrain? Are you looking for relics, coin, jewelry, gold? There's so many different ones, but if you establish that, that's really going to narrow down your choices. And like we've said, take the time, do your research, make sure you're prepared on your first hunt, and just go out there and have a blast and totally get addicted like we have.
Absolutely. And there's a bunch of reviews out there. So if you have your eye on a certain model that's in your community, we'll more than be happy
to ask about their machines.
To help out and to give you answers if they can.
Ask some of your favorite YouTubers out there what they use and why they use it. And, they love being asked questions. So go ahead and use people that have been out there for a while. Use their knowledge and ask those questions before you make your choice.
Yeah. And you'll enjoy your experience.
Yes. Yeah. So that's our tips. Yeah. And we really, really hope this helps. Now we're taking off because we're going to actually upgrade that table that we guys made, we made, the Relic table. We have an idea to bring it all the way up to another level. So just stay tuned because that video is going to be coming out soon. We're going to actually add to the table that we've already done. And let's check this out. This should be really, really funky. Can't wait. Let's get on that one. Woo! Bye!
Bye!